Kia ora, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. As every week, coming live from my office here in Hamilton, New Zealand. It is yet another week and yet another day for me to get in front of all of you wonderful people on YouTube as well as on Facebook. So, this broadcast is coming live from Hamilton on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And as every week, I request you guys who are watching it on YouTube to ask your questions on Facebook because it's easier for me to keep my eyes on one tab as against having to toggle between two tabs. And as is my routine every week, I also start off by showing you a copy of my license. This is the license which I carry very proudly in my wallet. It's called my wallet license from the Immigration Advisors Authority of New Zealand. And that's a copy of the same license in a certificate form that hangs on my wall here in my office. So legally, I have to show this proof that I am capable of giving immigration advice about New Zealand to all you wonderful people who want to consider moving to New Zealand. And so it's become our routine every week now to get live on Facebook and YouTube and share this information with all of you. And while I wait for, I can see that some of you guys are joining in, and some of my own team members are joining into the live broadcast. So what I'm going to do is, like every week, while I'm waiting for some of you who want to ask questions, come and join this broadcast either on YouTube or on Facebook. I have a little agenda here, and first and foremost, I wanted to share that last week I hit 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. Woohoo! That means that I'm a legitimate YouTuber now. That actually sounds a little weird. It almost sounds like some kind of a vegetable when I say YouTuber. But thanks to all of you. Thanks to your wonderful, support to what my team and I do, which is to provide good, honest information about New Zealand education and migration, and bring it out in a very transparent and open fashion to you through all the different means available, especially Facebook and YouTube. And we are very thankful to all of you and your support. So we hit 10,000 subscribers last week on my YouTube channel, which is fantastic. So I can legitimately say that I have my own channel now on YouTube, which is great. So I also attended something called the NZA conference last week at in Auckland, and one of the key speakers was the immigration minister of New Zealand. So that gentleman there is the Honorable Ian Lees Galloway, who is the Minister of Immigration of New Zealand. So he was there, and we also had a lot of other very good speakers at the conference. We also had Peter Elms, who is the Assistant General Manager also from Immigration New Zealand. And then we also had Alejandra Mercado, who is also an Operational Policy Manager from Immigration New Zealand. So as part of our effort to ensure that you guys are getting good, genuine information, what we do on a weekly, on a regular basis is we not only keep studying the changing patterns that occur in the immigration law of New Zealand, but we also attend various conferences. Not only myself and my team that is present in New Zealand, but also recently our team based in India, and we are a large team of people. We are almost 35 people now in three different countries. We are based in New Zealand. We have a large team working out of India, and we have one person working out of Dubai as well. So recently, our team in India, one of our senior managers, also attended a conference hosted by Education New Zealand. And so, so we are trying to emerge as the strongest education and immigration consulting firm for, clients from different parts of the world. So we like to go to all those different conferences and listen to all these very inspiring speakers. There's also a lady called June Ranson, who is the chairperson of the New Zealand Association of Migration and Investment. She provides fantastic insights to this entire industry. So that's what we guys have been doing, and we like to bring in all this legitimate information to you guys. One more important incident that occurred in the last 1 week is that is that we've also had some more additions to our team in India, and so we've had another ex-immigration officer join our team in India, which was fantastic. So we're welcoming all these strong professionals to come and join us, and another ex-immigration officer has joined our team in New Zealand, and she is now going to be the customer service manager for all you people who come to New Zealand through us. So we're trying to make a really strong team for you guys. This, besides all the other team members we already have. So if you guys are serious about New Zealand, talk to AJV and we will make your dreams happen. All right. So let's get started with the question and answers. I'm done with my usual normal 5 minute chat and spiel. So here we go. Chatri Sunil asks, "What about is this?" Chatri, I think the topic of this chat clearly states that this is how to study and settle in New Zealand or how to migrate to New Zealand. So that's what it's all about. All right. So if you have some questions, please ask and we will go forward. Adam Hamza says, "All the very best, Arun." Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. Mihir Dilip Bagaria asks, "Is it possible to talk to you?" Absolutely, Mihir. I mean, like I said, we are here to all the entire AJV team is here to service you. We do have different levels of professionals and advisors at different stages. So what I suggest, Mihir, is if you want to consult not only myself but any of my fellow professionals in the company, just forward your CV with contact details to info@ajvglobal.com, and we will enter it into our CRM system, and one of us will definitely get in touch. And just to let you know, of course, a lot of you would want to speak to me. There is the obvious yeah, feeling that, hey, look, if we talk to Arun, we will get all the right information. But guys, to be honest, my team is so spectacular in its composition. Each and everyone is a full-on 100% professional. So you're in safe hands, whoever you're speaking to. But in those instances where it is required that something needs to be bumped up and it needs to come to me, absolutely, I get involved. So do not ever think that we are a company without accountability. We will absolutely ensure that you are getting the right information at whatever level is required. So, Meher, please email your CV with contact details and any queries you have to info@ajvglobal.com, and we will happily speak to you. And also, if you are based in India, which I think you are from your name, you can call our toll-free number, which is 1-800-103-6525. That's the number, guys. I hope I can show it here clearly. So there you go. That's the toll-free number, 1-800-103-6525, or just email to info@ajvglobal.com. All right, cool. Chatri Sunal says, "What about education and documentation plus permanent residence?" Question is not clear. I think your question is, how do I study and settle in New Zealand? I think the pathway is very clear. You need to come and pick the appropriate level of course, which is where someone like AJV will ensure that we give you all the options and put it in front of you. And now recently there have been some changes to the immigration law. So depending on what level of course and which city you're choosing, you might get a 1 or a 2 or a 3 years post-study work visa. In that post-study work visa period, you need to find yourself a relevant and suitable job. And if that position and salary is matched as per the immigration instructions of New Zealand, then absolutely you'll be able to reach to the your desired goal of permanent residence, which is what most of you guys and girls who come on these live sessions want. So please connect with us, Chetri Sunil, and we will provide you more information. But what I described is pretty much the pathway. Study at the right level, get your post-study work visa, get a relevant job with the right position and the right salary, and then apply for a resident visa. And for AJV clients, we are kind of working with them through that entire pathway from inquiry to that point where they get their residence in New Zealand. So that's what we guys are doing. All right, cool. Okay, Shatri Sunil again has asked a repeat question. What is the criteria for immigration in New Zealand? I think I just explained that to you. And direct migration is practically ruled out now because they've changed the laws again in last year, where if you are looking for direct resident visa in New Zealand, you will need to have either an employment in New Zealand or an offer of skilled employment in New Zealand, or you need to have studied in New Zealand for at least 2 years and gotten yourself a master's or a PhD. Plus, you also need to get 165 points, which is a combination of your age, your qualification, your work experience, which country you worked in, what industry you worked in, and also if you're married, what are your spouse qualification, and so on and so forth. It can be quite complex, which is where there are people like myself, licensed immigration advisors, so that we guys can assess and do it, and which is where our entire team at AJB, we gather all the information. And there's myself as a licensed immigration advisor. One of our senior managers is about to get a license, and after I'm done with this particular broadcast, I'm going to speak to somebody else who's recently received the pass mark to be able to become a licensed holder. So we're bringing on all these people, and like I said, our team also consists of some ex-immigration officers. So between all of us, we should be able to give you the right guidance, and someone like me who holds the license can actually do the process for you as well. All right, cool. Uh, Sevak Sairam asks a very interesting question. How can you settle there when outsiders aren't permitted to buy houses? Good question, Sevak, because I think you're referring to the fact that last week there was also a decision by the government of New Zealand to prevent foreign buyers from buying properties in New Zealand. We've been having a lot of housing crisis in New Zealand. Part of it is also, kind of, we're having this crisis because part of it is also because the migration has gone up quite significantly, and so there are more people coming in, but the housing stock is kind of not growing at the same pace. So there has been a bit of a mismatch. So the government decided they're going to put a ban on foreign buyers buying houses in New Zealand. So Sevak's question is, how do I settle there if I can't buy a home? Number one, you can rent. But jokes apart, not only renting, but the fact is, if you're coming and going through the entire process of either direct migration, if you're qualifying, or if you're in terms of qualifying not directly but through the job search visa for skilled migrant category, or if you're coming as a student and working your way and getting to residency. When you become a resident, you're no longer you're no longer a foreigner. You can be able to buy a property in New Zealand. So the possibility is still there, and for typically it takes between 2 to 4 years for you to reach that stage where you're actually ready to buy a house. And in most instances, you would have also attained your residency in New Zealand. So that's the way you can settle in New Zealand. Say, I hope I've answered that question. But very good question, I must say. You're obviously a guy who is staying in touch with what's happening in New Zealand, and so very good question, which came from your side. All right, Anamika Painuli says, "Sir, I'm an AJV student. Is there any master's course in IT which is under long-term skills shortage, so that after studies one can apply for skill migration? Going to university will give me a chance for placement, or college is okay?" Anamika, there is, to the best of my knowledge, there is no master's course, but I can check that quickly for you while we are talking. And I don't think there is actually a master in information technology that is present in the long-term skill shortage, Anamika. But I don't think you should be too bothered about getting only into I mean, it's a little complex, but I'll try and explain it to you. There is no master of information technology in the long-term skill shortage list. But if you do a 2 years master's, you fulfill any 2 years master's in information technology, even if it is not in the long-term skill shortage list. You fulfill that condition which says that you need to have studied in New Zealand for 2 years and have a master's or a PhD. Even if you don't want to do a master's, and even if you want to do just let's say a postgraduate diploma, and you are getting your 3 years work visa, in that 3 years time, if you're able to post-study work visa, if you're able to find a relevant job at the right salary and the right position, that's when you get the required number of points, because a job gives you a lot of points as well towards your migration points. And so because of that, what will happen is you will then be able to reach your residency. So don't get fixated by saying, I want to do only a master's that is present in the long-term skills shortage list, because quite honestly, there is no master's in IT that is mentioned in the long-term skills shortage list of New Zealand. So any 2 years master's would be good. I mean, I would even go to the extent of saying even a postgraduate diploma in IT would be good, long as you are able to get your 3 years post-study work visa and find the relevant job at the relevant salary and at the relevant position. So that's what is the most important thing. Coming to your next question of will I will going to university give me a better chance of placement as compared to a college? I frankly don't think so, because New Zealand is a society where it's very unpretentious. It is not a society where people are kind of have all those class symbols like, oh, I have a degree from Harvard, or I have a I drive a BMW, or people are not like that here. I think in New Zealand it does not matter whether you go to a university or an institute of technology or a good high quality private training establishment, because bear in mind the universities and the institutes of technology are both owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. So you are protected by the government of New Zealand. And as far as the private training establishments are concerned, you need to be careful, because although they are also governed or kind of under the aegis of a body called the New Zealand Qualifications Authority, there are some bad apples in that, and which is where a company like AJV, we ensure we are only working with the good ones from the private training establishments, and that is where we can advise you. So I think you're absolutely fine going to a university or to an institute of technology or to a private training institution recommended by us. So I think you're good. And as far as your master's question is concerned, don't be fixated about doing a master's only from which is in the long-term skill shortage list, because there is no master's in IT in the long-term skill shortage list in the first place. So you will have to choose something else. But if you do a 2 years master's, then you would have ticked off that condition, which will make you eligible to apply for a skilled migrant category visa. Hope I've answered that question, Anamika. And as always, thank you so much for deciding to work with AJV, because you guys have and girls have a lot of choice to work with so many different companies across New Zealand, in your own country and in New Zealand. But when you chose to work with us, I mean, we are truly, indebted to you. And, so a big thank you all the way from Hamilton here in New Zealand. All right. Anup Singh Sidho, man, this is tough work, guys. My throat goes dry very, very quickly. Water, in case some of you are wondering what it is. Anup Singh Sidhu asks, hi, sir, I'm currently on job search visa and doing study related job as well. And I get 2 years visa because of new changes. But can I get essential visa as well after that 2 years? Oh, well, I mean, Anup, if you were an AJV student, by now you would have had complete clarity as to what exactly you need to do. But obviously, you're not an AJV student, but you have come to this forum and asked me a question. So I'm quite happy to answer that. So if you're in your post-study work visa period to get an essential skill, so you're saying you're in a related job as well, and you may get a 2 years further work visa, which is great. But can I get essential skills work visa after that 2 years? It depends whether you're matching the criteria for that essential skills work visa. What is the criteria for the essential skills work visa? And I have it always ready on my pinned up board here so that I can refer these figures to you guys straight away. For an essential skills work visa, you need to get a salary of $42,952 at the minimum. Plus, you need to have an employer who is going to support you with that job application, with the application, and provide the required documents. Plus, the employer should also provide proof that they try to recruit a local New Zealand citizen or a New Zealand resident, and because they were not able to, is why they're offering that job to you. So it requires certain amount of documentation, and it is not very easy to put that kind of thing together. So what I recommend is you speak to our senior manager based here in New Zealand. Her name is Mary, and she takes care of all the onshore services here for us. So you call and share some information with her, and then she will gather that information and then share it with me, and I'll come back and do an assessment and tell you whether your current job is good enough for you to apply for an essential skills work visa. The number to reach Mary on is 022-605-2615. So I repeat that again, 022-605-2615. That's Mary's number. Give her a call, share some information, share some documents. She'll forward it to me. I'll do an assessment and come back here. All right, Anup? Cool. Sandeep Kasa, how to get job in New Zealand? All right, Sandeep, not very easy when you're not present in New Zealand, and I've made a video on that sitting on my YouTube channel. It says, "How can I find a job in New Zealand and get a work visa?" So, not very easy to get a job in New Zealand when you're not present in the country, which is why I advocate get yourself into the country first, because which employer would be, wanting to look at somebody who is not even present in the country and give you a job offer? I don't think any employer will go to that extent unless or until your name is Bill Gates or something pretty massive like that. But I mean, jokes apart, in my experience of 15 or 16 years of being in this industry, only on 3 or 4 occasions I've seen very high level IT professionals being given a job offer before they even landed in New Zealand. In fact, recently it happened with one of my own clients. Her husband was planning to come and study in New Zealand, and she was a very top end IT professional. And even before she landed in New Zealand, she got a beautiful job worth $200,000 per annum from a very large New Zealand company. And so it was one of those wow moments. But it's not a very common thing for you to be able to find a job in New Zealand. You'll need to get yourself into the country first, and which is where we advocate the path of come as an international student, come at the right level, get your post study work visa, and then pick up a job and work towards your residency. So that's what we guys recommend. All right, Sandeep, hope I have answered your question. Mohit Pandey, hello, sir. I'm planning to study in Wintec Hamilton and graduate diploma in supply chain management. Are there availability of part-time as well as full-time jobs in Hamilton related to same course? I don't know, Mohit. Most likely there will be. Mohit, you have not confirmed whether you're coming to New Zealand through AJV, which is our company, or not. If you're coming through AJV, I promise you, we will work with you and connect you to some of our other students who are already present in Hamilton and across New Zealand. At least, a handful of them are working in the supply chain and logistics, and we can connect you to them as well. But we can do it only if you are coming to New Zealand as an AJV student. I need to get confirmation from my team whether Mohit Pandey is working with us or not. So, Mohit, there is probably a possibility, but we can do a much more in-depth analysis and help you to, kind of find your space in Hamilton, provided you decide to work with us. So please, if you're not already working with us, Mohit, I would recommend get in touch with us in New Zealand or in India. If you're in India, please call 1-800-103-6525. That's our toll-free number, and one of our team members will connect you. But we would love to work with you. Like I told you recently, we also appointed a customer service manager, mainly to do this kind of service for all our clients. And this customer service manager is also an ex-immigration officer, by the way. So between all of us, we should be able to guide you, Mohit. But will you get a job or not? I think you will if you put in the right effort and the right, and if you're patient and persistent. But if you need more help as a student present in Hamilton and New Zealand, it will be good for you if you come to New Zealand as a AJV student. My team has not confirmed whether you're working with us or not, but I hope you're working with us. Right, Ramesh Ramabhadran. Okay. Hello, is the PR points based resident visa rule changed? Can we not apply anymore from outside of New Zealand? Ramesh, yeah, you're right. It's um, I think it's very clear that the resident visa category went through a very interesting revamp last year. So it's become practically impossible for many people who apply to get a direct resident visa unless and until they have skilled employment in New Zealand or an offer of skilled employment in New Zealand, or they have studied in New Zealand and they have for 2 years and they have a master's or a PhD acquired locally. If you do not have that, and even if you get the required, 160 points, the government is not giving a direct resident visa. What they're doing is they're giving something called a skilled migrant category job search visa, which will allow only the main applicant, not the family, only the main applicant will be allowed to come into the country. And while you're here on a legitimate job search visa, you can go around looking for work. And if you're able to find a job, then, you tick off that rule which says, okay, you have skilled employment in New Zealand. So they made it more difficult. And I think the reason they've made it a bit more tougher is because obviously we are growing in popularity as a destination. more and more people want to come to New Zealand. So when the demand is so high for people to come to New Zealand, so the government can tweak its policies and ensure we're attracting the right people, and also kind of keep raising the bar a little bit, and which is where a company like AGV can be very useful in giving you a proper assessment. So what I suggest, Ramesh, is email your CVs. If you're married, also your spouse CV to info@ajvglobal.com. I will do an assessment and come back to you. All right? Cool. Others, Bijay, sir, can you suggest any level 7 2-year course which is in long-term skill shortage? Right. To the best of my knowledge, others, there are not a lot of 2-year courses at level 7 in the long-term skill shortage list. There are a lot of bachelor's degrees in the long-term skill shortage list, which are also level 7. And I think there are some graduate diplomas at level 7, which are for 1 year, but they are in construction management, and I think surveying, and few other things, few other construction related subjects. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't remember or recall if there is a level 7 and 2-year course. And you seem to have a very specific requirement, which is good because it shows me that you have done your research and you're looking at a very specific course. Why don't you give us the opportunity of talking to you more? Why don't you get in touch with our team in India? You can either call 1-800-103-6525. That is 1-800-103-6525, or send your CV to info@ajvglobal.com, and we will take a look and we will talk to you. We'll converse with you. We'll speak to you as long as it takes, and kind of understand where exactly you're coming from, because you're asking for a very, very specific level and a specific period of time. We will talk to you, discuss, and probably put some other options in front of you as well. Others. But I like your question. You seem to be a guy who's done a little bit of research. So good on you, Matt. You need to speak to a good company like us, and we will do the rest for you. All right. Cool. Ram Ariel asks, which is good to go for bachelor degree or diploma level 5, 6, and after that level 7 bachelor degree. Ram, my recommendation is always to come for a bachelor's degree, a 3 years minimum bachelor's degree, which is also at a level 7, because as you're aware, with the imminent rule changes at the bachelor's level degree, you will get your 3 years work with post-study work visa. So 3 years of studying as a bachelor's, and then 3 years post-study work visa. Man, you're getting 6 whole years in New Zealand. And at the end of that, I think, in fact, by the end of your bachelor's itself, you will almost be like a Kiwi. You would have understood what it means to be in New Zealand. You probably know every nook and cranny of this country and be able to kind of take it forward from there. So I would strongly recommend a bachelor's degree because it will give you a much stronger foundation. And I think a 2-year diploma is not completing the full story. So I think you just need to come for a 3 years bachelor's degree. You have not mentioned, Ram, which particular subject you're looking at, but we would love to work with you. So if you're not in touch with the AJV team yet, please get in touch with the AJV team. You can connect with me on Facebook, inbox me, or call 1-800-103-6525 if you're based in India. If you're not based in India, simply email your contact details to info@ajvglobal.com and we'll pick it up. But good question, and I strongly recommend a bachelor's for you. All right. Anup Singh's question has already been answered. There is a question from Nicola Mahapatra. Nice name, Nicola. Nice, interesting combination. Nicola and Mahapatra is a very good combination. As a student, we get 20 hours a week to work. Please advise best way to get a job at New Zealand. Nicola, I am a licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. I'm not a job consultant. But hey, look, out of my own experience, I'm not a young guy. I'm going to be 50 very, very soon. So obviously, I've had some life experiences. And the best way to get a job is to be patient and persistent and apply at the right places. And for our own AJV students, we are conducting, I get on the phone and give them some personal tips. Today, in fact, I was speaking to a lady who is a Kiwi lady, and she has set up a new company, which is helping people to find jobs. So I was in a discussion with her to see if we can, how we can collaborate so that our AJV students and our AJV clients can get support in employment as well. So we are doing a lot of things for our students. We share, for instance, we share formats of CVs that are useful in New Zealand. We're sharing formats of cover letters. We are networking them to a lot of our existing students and clients. And we're also giving them a lot of morale boosting talks on the phone and stuff like that. So I think you would probably be able to also get it, Nicola. I think the secret to getting a job is to be patient, to persist, and to get some good advice. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. I don't recall you as an AJV student. Otherwise, after this session is over, I'd have probably gotten on the phone and given you some one-on-one advice. But like, unfortunately, I'm very selfish, and I tend to work only with the AJV clients, and so does the rest of my team, who is Virginia and Mary and Prakash. So we are all the AGV team locally present here. Plus, a lot of our old students are also part of our extended team. Some of them have absolutely come forward and said, "Hey, look, Arun, if some of our AGV students want to get support, please refer them to us. We are there for you." So we're creating something called the AJV funnel. Funnel is a very interesting and very nice Maori word, which means family. So we at AJV are creating that AJV funnel, not only with our team, but also with all our clients. And we want to be that one big family who is helping each other. So guys and girls, whoever is listening, you want to join this happening and helping each other funnel, you need to pick up the phone and call the AJV team, or email info@ajvglobal.com. All right. Oh. Harsh Patel, I'm planning for graduate diploma. Harsh Patel says, I'm planning for grad diploma in construction project management in Christchurch and Feb intake. Course listed under LTSSL. Can my spouse accompany me as a dependent or visitor? What will the duration? I mean, a spouse can most certainly accompany as a visitor for sure. And we work with our clients. Harsh, you have not mentioned whether you are an AJV client or not. It's very important when you ask me questions like this to know whether you're an AJV client or not, because student, so that immediately after this call I can put you on to the right people, and we can discuss further. But yeah, technically yes, and I think with the new rule change, because the graduate diploma level 7 is also mentioned. Hey team, can you tell me if Harsh is also one of our students, so that I can get into a bit more detail? But technically you should be able to either look at, because the rule says going forward, you should either be doing a master's level 9 or a PhD level 10, or do a level 7 course specified in the long-term skill. So you're right. I mean, you should be able to apply either for a visitor visa or a work visa. If you're not working with AGV, I think it's very important, Harsh, that you get in touch with us immediately, because spouse visas can be very tricky. Uh, I mean, we know, because I've dealt with hundreds of them, and a lot of my team members are ex-immigration officers who dealt with, partnership cases. So they can be very tricky, and we need to be very careful about how the documentation is all assessed and reviewed, and then put forward. So, and that's where I think you need to speak to someone like us, and we certainly can help you. But I think overall, your assessment is right, that it will be either a work visa or a visitor visa. Okay, Jack says, I'm doing MBA in AJOU University South Korea. Okay, maybe it's Ajau University. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. First semester, is it possible to come in for a credit transfer in New Zealand? Very good question, Jack. I think because South Korea has also got a, excuse me, very high level of education, I think there is a very good possibility we can ask for a credit transfer if you want to come and do the rest of your course here in New Zealand. So we obviously need to find the right university or institution for you, which will be a match to what you've already done in South Korea, and to be able to bring it into New Zealand and ask for cross credits. We have done a lot of cross crediting for some of our students in the past very successfully, and I'm absolutely certain we can be of help to you as well. And our team is very, very good in maintaining a good rapport with all the admissions staff at various institutions. So we would absolutely love to work with you, Jack. So get in touch with us, and because you're in South Korea, you can either connect with me on Facebook, inbox me, or send your CV and contact details to info@ajbglobal.com, and we'll pick it up and we will talk to you and give you the details about how that cross crediting can occur. All right, and we will also, provide you with a few options as to which courses you can look at in New Zealand. All right, cool. It'll be good to welcome you from South Korea. Very cool, South Korea to New Zealand sounds fantastic. All right. So, Abhishek G asks whether level 8 course comes under short skills list. It's not the level, Abhishek, whether they come in the long term skill shortage list. There are specific courses in the long term skill shortage list. So it's not like level 7s will be there in the long term skill shortage list. Sometimes there are even level 4 courses which are in the long term skill shortage list pertaining to tradespeople like carpenters and stuff like that. So it's not always the level which determines whether it's going to be in the long term skill shortage list or not. It's a bit more complex than that. So I think what you need to do is you need to consult us. We would like to understand why you're looking specifically only at level 8 program. Maybe there are some other options. We would like. What are the criteria to get resident visa after studies? Please explain. I just started my today's session. I've been saying the same thing. You've got to study. You've got to get your post-study work visa. You've got to get your relevant job, and then you've got to get to the right salary, which is $50,523 to be precise. You need to get a salary of $50,523 dollars, and the job needs to be relevant to what you've studied. Plus, it needs to be from a legitimate company. The offer needs to be legitimate, which means you didn't pay money for that offer and those kinds of things. And then, if you have all that in place, plus good health and good character and the required IELTS score, that's it. That's what you're looking at. So that's the criteria, Alvin. What I recommend is if you already have a job and you're looking at applying for a resident visa, Alvin, get in touch with Mary Joseph, who is our senior manager. And I just got confirmation that you're also one of our AJV students. So there you go, buddy. You have 4 or 5 of us who are going to talk to you now and give you all the information you want. Please also get in touch with Virginia, who is our customer service manager. You would have already received a contact from her, Alvin. If you have not received a contact from her, she will connect with you very soon. Or talk to Mary on 022 605 2615, and she will connect you to Virginia. But the process, Albin, as I told you, is finish the course, get the post study work visa, get the relevant job, get to $50,523, and then talk to us, and we are there to help you with the rest of the resident visa process. All right, Albin, don't worry, man. You're an AGV student. You'll be taken care of. Matusha Ravi Verma. I got visitor visa refusal to Australia in 2017. Can I apply for masters? Does my previous refusal affect my student visa? Good question, Matusha. There could be a effect on your new application, student visa application to New Zealand. And in instances like this, what we like to do is we would like to look at the rejection letter that you got from the Australian, Department of Immigration, so that we understand what was the reason why they rejected your visa. If it is not a serious matter, if there was no character issue or anything like that, then by and large we are able to fight that case successfully for a student visa. And we have worked with a lot of students and clients who've had prior visa refusals from other immigration departments or even from the Immigration Department of New Zealand. We've worked with a lot of them. But so the short answer to your question is, don't worry if you have a previous visa refusal. We would like to take a look at your decline letter from Australia. So email that decline letter to info@ajbglobal.com. It will get forwarded to me. I will take a look at it and come back to you and say, hey, look, don't worry, it's all looking good. And then the rest of the process is something that we'll be able to do. But don't worry, we work with a lot of clients who have had previous visa refusals. And I know it kind of hangs on top of your head, and it's like a little bug that keeps going inside, saying, my God, am I going to get a visa ever in my life again? So don't worry. Well, like I said, I want to give you confidence that it is possible. work with somebody like us. Like I told you, we are a very strong team. I'm a licensed immigration advisor. One of our senior managers is about to become a licensed immigration advisor very soon. Three of our current staff members are ex-immigration officers. Two more are about to join us. So between all of us, we have adequate knowledge and information and a very genuine intent to work with genuine, honest students. And if we believe that you are a student, especially at the master's level, who deserves to be in New Zealand, I promise you we'll put our best efforts behind you. All right, so please get in touch with us, Matusha. Sachdev says, "Hello, sir. I have epilepsy problem. Am I eligible for PR? Background is IT profile." Sachdev, I mean, I know I don't want to sound harsh, but there are certain diseases and physical conditions which are not considered as acceptable standard of health for immigration purposes to New Zealand. So, unfortunately, it may not be. Uh, an easy process for you. Having said that, please share some of your details. Share your CV with us at info@ajbglobal.com. We would like to get some more information about your medical condition, and then we can refer it to the current law, immigration law, and see if there is any possibility, and we will let you know. All right. So, but I mean, yeah, at the outset, I can tell you there could be issues. But again, like I said, there may not be an issue if it's not too serious a matter. But like I said, we want to get more information. So please forward us some information to info@ajvglobal.com. We will take a look and we'll come back. All right. Cool. Nicola Mahapatra asks another question saying, "Nicola, you're asking me too many questions. You need to first confirm you're going to be my student. Only then I'm going to answer your questions." But I'm serious. I want you to become our student. All right. So your question is, how is Toi Ohomai Institute of Technology in Tauranga? Good institution, owned and operated by the government of New Zealand, and so obviously there's accountability. I'm actually an ex-student, so to speak, of Toi Ohomai, because if you guys look at that certificate there, that one is called the Graduate Certificate in New Zealand Immigration Advice, Level 7. So I had to do that course before I got that license. At that time, I did that course from an institution called Bay of Plenty Polytechnic. And then there used to be another institution called Wairiki Polytechnic. So Wairiki Polytechnic and Bay of Plenty Polytechnic merged together and became Toi Ohomai Institute of Technology. And that's the background. Very good institution. We've had some of our students go there. And we also have a fantastic rapport with some of the senior managers there at Toi Ohomai. So, plus, Nicola, what's most important is you need to have good support in New Zealand after you reach here, which is why I am insisting that you decide to work with AJV, because we can also network here with some of our previous students and ensure that your entry and the rest of your journey in New Zealand is successful. So, if you're serious, please come to New Zealand through us, Nicola, and because a lot of times, some of you take information from me and the rest of my team through these sessions and also talking to us. Then you guys go to some other agency. Then you land here. After you land here, you realize that it is actually a lot tougher than what you thought or imagined while you were still in your country. And after they land here, they tell themselves, "Gosh, I really need a lot of support here." And then they call us, and then we tell them, "Sorry, guys, we are so busy working only with our AGV students. We are not able to give you time." In fact, AGV students are welcome to walk into this room anytime, and not in the middle of the night, but most of the times they're welcome to come here into this room, sit and have a chat with me, have a coffee with me, have a beer with me, and discuss whatever is their issue, whether it is a personal problem they're having with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or they got into some trouble driving, or immigration issues or career issues. They're welcome to come and talk to us here in this office. But non-AGV students, unfortunately, we charge a fee because obviously time is money here in New Zealand, or anywhere else. So we have that clear distinction between AGV and non-AGV students. So if you're serious about a future in New Zealand, I think you must consider coming to New Zealand for us. All right, cool. Okay, I have Shamsher who says, "Hello, Kiara, mate. I talked to your team, but mate, can you help? Please tell me if I can get a scholarship for PGDM or Masters in Environment or Biological Science in New Zealand. Please answer, mate." I mean, Shamsher has already acquired a Kiwi accent before he's landed in New Zealand. which is fantastic. Shamsher, I have no clues about scholarships, to be honest, because we keep getting scholarship information from different institutions, and then we share it on our Facebook group or page, and then we kind of share it with all prospective clients. I frankly do not have any information about scholarships right now. So best bet would be to check with the team member you're speaking to and ask them, saying, "Hey, look, specifically for this course, are there scholarships available? Or if they're not available, then which are the institutions which are offering scholarships?" And by and large, we normally have a list of the different institutions that are offering a scholarship, and the HAV advisor you're speaking to should be able to share that with you, Shamsher. But I love your attitude. You've already gotten into the TV lingo. Fantastic, my friend. And, as we say here, we say kapai, which is well done. All right, cool. Jack says, please answer me. Jack, I just answered about South Korea and that we should be able to help you with your cross crediting. So I think I've already answered your question, Jack. So, yeah. AJV Global, Sunny Chitness asks, what is the process to get entrepreneur visa in New Zealand? Ooh, good question, Sunny. Only today in the morning, I was speaking to somebody who also wanted to get an entrepreneur visa. And I was telling them, guys, amongst all the different visa categories, this is probably one of the most painful categories because it's very complex, There are a lot of things that need to go into an entrepreneur visa. Sunny, I have made a video specifically describing how the entrepreneur visa works. So go to YouTube and search for Arun Jacob New Zealand, and then you'll come to my channel, which I'll show off. I recently have 10,000 subscribers, so I'm getting up there. But you go get into my channel and then search for entrepreneur visa, and you will see a video made specifically about that. So have a look at that and then get back in touch with us and we'll talk. But just to let you know, it's not an easy visa. It's probably one of the most complex visas to New Zealand because it's got a lot of steps. But have a look at the video and come back and we will discuss further. All right, cool. Karan Sharma, what is the scope of Indian Chartered Accountant? All right. Indian Chartered Accountants, I guess, will have to come to New Zealand and, do some other papers and get themselves a membership with the New Zealand Institute of Chartered Accountants to be able to practice as a chartered accountant in New Zealand. If you can't become a chartered accountant, then, of course, you could opt for other profiles within the larger financial and accounting field. So the scope is definitely there, Karan. In fact, I have so many good friends who are also migrants like me from India who live in New Zealand, and a lot of them are practicing. In fact, my chartered accountant is also a migrant to New Zealand. She came from, she's actually of Indian origin, but she came from Fiji. She now lives here. I mean, she also did a course somewhere else, but then she went through that, registration and getting the process done through NZICA, which is New Zealand Institute of Chartered Accountants, and that's the way to do it. Get in touch with us, Karan, and we'll be able to provide more information. And one of the best pathways would be to come and do a course in New Zealand, and then while you're doing that course, also fulfill all the requirements for recognition, and you could end up being a chartered accountant in New Zealand. All right. So do get in touch with us, Karan. All right. My team has been very quiet. They have not been giving me any inputs. Either I'm doing a great job or there's nothing they need to comment about. All right. Arjun Palakil, is it possible to work 1 year after graduate diploma 7 and again can I study level 8 graduate diploma after 1 year work? Actually, I mean, yeah, I don't see any reason. I mean, some people do tend to do that. They come for a 1 year level 7 course, and of course now it's all a little fluid because the rules are changing. But the way it works is people would come for a level 7 course, get the 1 year post study work visa. If they're not able to find a relevant job and move on to the next visa, then they will re-enroll for another course at level 8 and then get a further work visa. Yeah, absolutely possible, Arjun. And if you're already in New Zealand, I get the feeling you're already in New Zealand from the way you have framed your question. Please get in touch with Mary Joseph on 022 605 2615. Give her some details. She will discuss with me, and then we'll come back and provide a solution to you. But definitely possible. But you've got to do it quickly because rules are changing and it's all a little muddled up at the moment. So, we're all trying to interpret them and kind of see how it will fall into place. Best is to do it before the 26th of November because that's when the new rules get effective. So sometimes it's possible to deal with the situation in an easier fashion if you're dealing with them with the old rules. So please get in touch with us very quickly, Arjun, and we will be delighted to help you to make the right course choice. All right? Yeah. Tirth Patel. I got my level 5 and level 6 program student visa in IT on 9th August 2018 in Auckland. So after completion of my study, how many years I'm eligible for work? I think you'll get a 2 year, 3 years, Tirth. So I think you should be fine. Uh, um, I don't think you're an AJV student, but I think you will be able to get a 3 years work visa. If you need more details, please refer back to that same number, Mary. Give her a call and share some details, and we can give you some paid consultation for non-AJV students. All right. Cool. Okay, Jack, I've already answered your question. You've repeated your question about South Korea and wanting to do a credit transfer. It's possible. You need to get in touch with us, and then we will be able to. Yeah. Ritesh says Masters of Professional Accounting is better course and lots of question marks in Wellington. It's a good course anywhere, not only in Wellington. It could be a good course anywhere, but if you're going to do it in Wellington, it's good because eventually, if you do get a job in Wellington, you'll get more points towards residency because they give more points for people who are studying outside Auckland and finding jobs outside Auckland. So Wellington is a fantastic destination. Plus, also it's a very cool city. I love Wellington. I mean, it's a bit windy, but it's an amazingly cool city. So, being there, check out my video on YouTube where I stood in front of that little water body in Wellington and I made a video and I spoke about how cool the city is. So, good choice, Ritesh. And if you're still planning to come to Wellington, please get in touch with Team AJV on 1800 105 6525. If you're in India, if you're not in India, please send an email to info@ajvglobal.com and we guys should be able to connect you to the right course at the right cost and hopefully also end up with the right career as well. All right, cool. Legend Jaws, how long should I stay in New Zealand to as student to obtain PR? Sorry, Legend, I have to laugh because you could stay in New Zealand for as a student for 20 years, but that's not going to help you get a residency because it's not staying as a student. It's about coming, staying as a good student, finishing your course, getting your post-study work visa, getting that relevant job at the right position and the right salary, which is $50,523, and that's when you'll go on to become a resident. All right, Legend, don't worry, you don't have to stay here for 10 or 15 years as a student. You'll probably end up becoming the oldest international student in New Zealand. But get in touch with us. We can give you more information. Guys, everybody, girls, guys, middle-aged people like me, old people who are fathers or mothers who want to send your kids, please get in touch with us. While we are in this session or after this session, I'm down to my last 7 or 8 minutes in the session. My team will start ringing the bell very soon. So what I would suggest is that there's only so much I can answer in the sessions, and as much as I like to cover as much ground as possible, time runs out and my throat runs out, so I can't keep going sometimes. So I know a lot of you have more detailed questions to ask, and it's not possible for me also to get into too many details because this is a live situation where I can give a brief, sort of the tip of the iceberg, but there's sometimes a lot of the story hidden under the water, and that's when if you guys are able to get in touch with us and connect with us. If you're in India, which is where most of our clients come from, please call on 1-800-103-6525. We have set up a toll-free number in India for all of you so that you don't spend any money in speaking to us. We have about 30 people who are on the phones waiting to pick up your call and be able to provide the information. If they are not able to provide that information, it gets kicked up to us here in New Zealand, and then we are able to research and provide the right information. So if you guys are serious, I want you to seriously get in touch with our team either through the toll-free number in India or the email address info@ajvglobal.com. Send us your CVs, write your questions just the way you're writing here. Write your questions, queries. The team will address them where it needs to come to me or to some of our other senior staff members. We guys will get involved as well. But you guys need to get in touch with us. So do not think we are some kind of bloodsuckers or leeches who will latch onto you and say, you got to go to New Zealand now that you've spoken to us. We will not do that. We get a lot of inquiries. We're getting about 5 to 600 inquiries every day. So we are talking to a lot of people, guys. But if you're serious and you want our attention, you need to show that seriousness with us as well, because once you connect and show your seriousness, we are going to get very, very serious with you as well. And not just in your country, even after you land in New Zealand, we will continue to stay very seriously as your advisors till you reach that entire journey. All right. So please get in touch with us and give us that return courtesy of the fact that, myself and the rest of my team give you guys a lot of, information. So it'll be awesome to get in touch with you guys. All right. Surya Prakash, sir, I have 9 lakhs in ANZ bank account from 2016 and another 19 lakhs in Indian account for 3 months. Can I apply for student visa? Is it mandatory to maintain money for 6 months? Ideally, yes. We would like to look at a minimum of 6 months. Surya Prakash, and you haven't mentioned whether you're working with my team or not, but we have a super solid visa processing team. Like I keep repeating this till the point where it gets boring, perhaps, but we have some ex-immigration officers also as part of our team. These were people who were scrutinizing applications before and know exactly what is required in a legitimate application. We will assess your applications with exactly the same standards. So you're getting probably the best advisor, guys, as far as New Zealand, visa processing is concerned. So please get in touch with us, Surya. I think from what you mentioned, it looks like it is probably possible, but get in touch with us and we will examine all your documents and tell you whether it is correct or not. All right. Engineer Nawaz Ali Zardari says, please discuss the student visa procedure step by step. Not very difficult. You need to first get in touch with us. We will get you something called an offer letter. If you have all the requirements for that offer, you get an unconditional offer. If there is 1 or 2 things missing, you get an conditional offer. Once you get the offer letter, you will need to go and organize your finances and your medical checkup and your police clearance certificate. So once your finances, medical and police clearances are in place, then, and if your offer becomes unconditional, then we file for the student visa application. Our team ensures that we present it in the best way possible so that there are not queries being raised about the application. Once the visa officer looks at your application and says, yep, this person is matching all the criteria, they give something called approval in principle. Once the approval in principle is given, then you've got to pay the fees to the New Zealand institution, who will then accept your fees and give the receipt for that fees, which we then forward to the Immigration Department of New Zealand, who will then issue with an e-visa. That's the way it happens. Okay. For most people, it stops there. For us, the student lands. For us, it starts when our student lands in New Zealand, because then we start providing a lot of onshore services as well. So, Zardari, if you're serious about coming to New Zealand, absolutely get in touch with us and we'll be able to help you. All right. Next question was Tarun Davar. I did BSc Eco. I think he's saying, I don't know if it's BSc Eco is ecology or economics. What would you suggest me to do now? Not clear, Tarun, whether you meant ecology or economics, because you wrote BSc Eco. I'm thinking it's ecology because Bachelor of Science and Economics may not fit. So please get in touch with us. We would like to look at your background and your future interests. Based on that, we will absolutely put some good suggestions in front of you. All right. But right now, I'm not sure whether your eco is economics or ecology. So yeah, we'd like to get some more details from you. So please email or call 1-800-103-6525. I say this so many times, but I still can't memorize the damn thing. Okay. Hopefully someday I'll get there. Okay, Sevak has asked another very long question. Sevak, I'll have to move on a little bit. Sevak, please email your, because your question is very long and I don't have the time to answer it because I'm almost out of time and I've already answered your question before. So please email your CV and any other documents to info@ajvglobal.com. If you're married, also your wife's CV, and we will come back and tell you what is the process for residency in New Zealand, whether you're eligible for it or if not eligible, what else you can do. All right, Sevak? Oh. Alvin Matthew, I've already answered your question. Kamran says, I had listened on YouTube that there's no opportunities for international students to work there easily in New Zealand too. Crisis going on over there. What you suggest? Please watch reality. Kamran, if there's a crisis in New Zealand, I'll pack my bags and also come back to India. I think we're doing really well as an economy. We are doing really well. There's no problem. There is no crisis. Anybody can get onto YouTube, like how I'm getting onto YouTube now and talk whatever they want. It's for you as smart people to decide who you listen to and who you don't listen to. I can tell you I'm good enough to be listened to because I have that license, which was given to me by the government of New Zealand. So I think I am reasonably well qualified to sit here and talk about opportunities in New Zealand. If you want to listen to some of those losers who sit and say New Zealand, there is nothing there, there's only sheep and cow and people eat grass, well, that's your problem. But if you're serious, get in touch with us and we'll put the reality in front of you. All right? Cool. Nelvin Nixon, I completed my BCom and I want to study supply chain logistics. So is it good to take level 7 supply chain logistics? Nelvin, because the rules are about to change, it might be a better idea to look at something a little beyond level 7, because at level 7, if you're studying outside Auckland, it might still be good. You will still end up with a 2 years work visa, post-study work visa. But we would like to examine to see if we can somehow suggest something to you which will get you a 3 years post-study work visa, because obviously it's more advantageous and beneficial for you to be able to do to have a 3 years work visa under your belt rather than a 2 years. So Nelvin, get in touch with us. I don't know which part of the world you're raised that question from, but if you're in India, please call 1-800-103-6525 and we'll be able to give you more options. But I think you really need to look at something beyond level 7, because if you're getting a 3 years post-study work visa, why not? Why do you want to restrict yourself to a 2 years post-study work visa? All right. Cool. And Kamran, I have been, my team has confirmed that you are one of our students. Fantastic. What are you worried about, man? If you're a student of AJV, why do you want to believe all those people who have nothing better to do than to sit there? You come into New Zealand, you will absolutely connect you to the rest of our team members, and and ensure that you are taken care of. AJV students will always live with a big smile in New Zealand. Don't worry. So Kamran, you should be the last guy asking me questions like that. I can understand if other guys are asking questions like that, but come on, man, you'll get the best support. And as I told you, we've just appointed a customer service manager who is there to ensure that you guys are taken care of, and we'll also make those connections and stuff like that. All right, don't worry, Kamran. Jaspal Singh, I'm coming. Okay, guys, I think I'm almost coming to the end of my session because it's 7:33 my time, New Zealand local time. In the evening, I don't know what time it's for you guys, but it's 7:33 p.m. New Zealand, and I normally stop at 7:30. So, yep, last couple of questions. And Jaspal Singh has been confirmed as one of our AJV students, so absolutely he will get an answer from me. Jaspal, first and foremost, thank you so much for choosing to become an AJV student. Really appreciate it. As I keep telling you, you're all smart young people. You can make any choice, but when you choose to work with a company like AJV, we are always grateful and we will commit our best support to you guys. So Jaspal's question is, I'm coming for PG Diploma in Human Resource for February 19 intake, level 8 program. After my studies, once I get open work visa, I'm willing to call my spouse in New Zealand. Will spouse get similar 3 years open work visa? Absolutely, Jaspal. Because by virtue of the fact that your spouse will be the partner of the holder of a work visa, the spouse would also be eligible. At the right time, we will counsel you and guide you with all the documentation and what else is required. But absolutely, if you get a 3 years post-study work visa, your spouse would also be eligible to get a 3 years work visa. And of course, there are certain criteria to be met to prove that you were in a genuine partnership. So there is a set of documents that we would like to look at. So absolutely, we would take a look at it. And as I told you, a few times throughout this evening, our team now consists of some very strong partnership specialists. So between all of us, we should be able to sort you out this one. But warm welcome to New Zealand, and I hope to see you here. Right, guys. I'm just running through to see if there is anybody from AJV who I need to answer before I. There are a lot of other questions, and I am not able to JS Sandhu says, very professional and helpful. Thanks, JS, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done yet. I've been showing off since evening. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, so more power to YouTube. Right. Okay, guys. I think I'm going to answer one last question from Anamika because she's one of our AJV students. And sorry, I'm selfish, but AJV students do get my first priority. So she asks, if I come for PG Diploma level 8, can I convert it to level 9 in near future? One needs to study full master's after it, or is it the credit point based system? Good question, Anamika. You can absolutely move into the next level if you like. But, if you're doing a level 8, take your post-study work visa, try and get yourself a job. And then once you get the job, and if you're at the right position and the right salary, and you're able to get residency, get your residency into place, and then you can go on and do a master's, because at that stage, if you get your residency into place, you can do your master's as a local, a domestic student, and you don't have to pay international fees. So that would be my sincere advice to you. So don't look too far ahead. Sometimes when you look too far ahead, also you kind of tend to confuse yourself. So that's going to be my parting advice to you today, everybody. So that's pretty much it, I guess. For today, we are already about 6 or 7 minutes over my normal time. But thank you, everyone, for coming week after week and watching my live broadcast from Hamilton, New Zealand. I absolutely love doing this stuff. And last week, when I was at the NZAMI conference, I met some of my fellow licensed immigration advisors who were all saying, hey, buddy, we like your broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube. And it was great to receive that feedback from some of my competitors, so to speak, because, they're all running their own private practices as well. But it was good to know that, this medium is working for all of us, for you, for me, for my team, and for everybody. And the whole intention of AJV services based in New Zealand is to put out honest, simple, genuine information, cut through all the nonsense and make it simple for you so that you guys understand how to make it into New Zealand on a temporary or on a permanent basis and make this beautiful country called Aotearoa, or the land of the long white cloud, your new home. So if you guys are looking at good advice and sincere services and a supporting hand to walk with you along this journey, please get in touch with us. If you are based in India, which most of my viewers are, please call 1-800-103-6525. If you're not based in India, or if you prefer not to use the phone, please email info@ajvglobal.com. Yeah, that's pretty much it for today. And if there are any unanswered questions, I'm sorry about that, but I will try and cover them in my next sessions. All right. Till the next time, guys, here's a little bit of Maori, Kakiteano, which means see you later, and good night from Hamilton. Bye-bye.